So, hopefully today's lesson will be fairly straightforward. What we're doing, we're going to be moving on tomorrow to working out the surface area of cylinders, which is a tricky topic, but part of that requires us to work out the areas of the end bits of the cylinders, which are of course circles. So I just thought we would just, for one lesson only, just revise how to work out the area of circles, and that's going to mean completing Hegarty 539. Now, this should be a straightforward one, so I really would like you to try and get the best mark you can in this. This isn't really one where you should think 50% is okay. You should be, you should definitely be aiming to go orange, so 70% or above. Ideally, it would be great if you could get 100%. So just to go through the basics, all right, I've just literally, as you can see, I've pinched our slides from back in December. So if we've got a circle, the radius is the length from the center of the circle to the outside, and the diameter is the length all the way across from one side of the circle to the other through the center. So you can see that the diameter is 2 lots of the radius. So if you've got the radius and you want to work out the diameter, you double it. And if you've got the diameter and you need to know the radius, you halve it. So make sure you're comfortable with moving between radius and diameter. That's that purple bit. So the radius and diameter are both lengths. The other length that we need is the perimeter of the circle. It's the length all the way around the outside of the circle, and that's called the circumference. Okay, so there are two formulas. Okay, there are two formulas that you need to learn. Okay, the first one works out the circumference, and the second formula works out the area. And so the circumference is pi, which is just that number just above 3.14 or so, and there's a pi button on your calculator. So the circumference is pi multiplied by the diameter, and the area is pi multiplied by the radius and multiplied by the radius again, so pi r squared. And if you remember, we've got this little acronym to help us remember it. Cottage pies delicious, apple pies are too. So cottage pies delicious, apple pies are too. If you just mute your mic, please, that would be good. Right, okay. So, and then what we did, we just did some examples. Okay, so I'm just rattling through that previous lesson we had. So when we knew the radius was 4, working out the circumference, which is pi times the diameter, well, the diameter is obviously 2 lots of the radius, so the diameter is 8, so we did pi times 8. Pop that into the calculator and we rounded it. Now the area is pi times the radius again, so with this one, pi times 4 times 4. Now the second example we did, working out the circumference, remember that's the length all the way around the outside, is pi times the diameter. Well, with this question, we're given the diameter being 10, so it's just simply pi times 10. However, working out the area, the space inside this second circle, area is pi r squared. That's pi times 5 times 5. Remember, the radius would be half the 10. It would be 5. Now be careful. That's 5 times 5, not 5 times 2. Okay, radius squared. Remember, that's anything squared, you're timesing it by itself. 5 times 5. Now, as I said, you are going to be doing Hegarty 539. And what I've done, I've just run through the various types of question here. I'll put them all on this one slide. Now, questions 1, 2, and 3, you're just being asked to work out the area of a circle with radius, blah, blah, blah. So you're just using pi r squared and you're using that radius. But be careful. It's asking you to give your answer rounded to 2 decimal places. Remember, that means 2 numbers after the decimal point. Okay? So just look out for that. Questions 1, 2, and 3, you're working out to 2 decimal places. However, questions 4 and 5, they give you the diameter to start with. So make sure you halve that to get the radius. Okay, you halve it to get the radius when you're doing pi r squared. But note how you've got to give your answers now to 1 decimal place. So for example, 28.2. Now, questions 6, 7, and 8 are asking you to give your answer to 3 significant figures. Now, remember what significant figures were. That just means 3 numbers in total that aren't zeros. So, for example, 1, 2, 3, 0 would be 3 significant figures. So, for these answers, make sure you've got 3 numbers in your answer. Might be a decimal point, there might not be, but only 3 numbers that are not zero in your now that was question 6, 7, and 8. Question 9, don't get psyched out when it says give your answer in terms of pi. All that means is you leave your answer at, for example, 72 pi. Okay, you'd leave your answer as 72 pi. Don't go and work that out. Don't go and press the SD button and work it out. You're just going to have to write 72 pi as your answer, and hopefully it's easy enough to put pi into it. That Mr. Hegarty must have some way that you can go and write pi down. Okay, and then finally, question 10. Find the area of a circle with diameter 10. Give your answers in terms of pi. So yeah, you're given the diameter, so you're going to have to halve the diameter to get the radius. But your final answer again is going to be something like 72 pi. So there's lots of ways to drop marks to get them wrong here if you're not careful. Okay, you can the decimal places are 2 or 1, or the significant figures, or in terms of pi. So make sure you read the questions, and then again, be careful. Are you given the radius or are you given the diameter? Okay, that's it, guys. So I think 1 or 2 of you might have done this one already. So well done. If you've done it already and you haven't got 100%, perhaps you could just go back and try and improve on it. And as always, I'll be here for the rest of the lesson, just looking out and helping you out if you've got any queries. Okay, cheers, guys. Good luck with that.